It is essential that your interviews are structured. Without a defined format, you risk creating a bias, making it more difficult for you to make fair comparisons between candidates. You should have a set list of questions that are based on a thorough job analysis. If you are recruiting a sales manager, design your questions around the skills and tasks needed to be a sales manager.
What would you tell me about yourself growing up?
This won't elicit skills or traits they possess that would impact their job performance. This also risks being seen as discriminatory if they were to disclose any disabilities or their religious background. You can instead ask,
"Tell me why you have chosen this career path."
Remember that this interview may also determine whether or not the candidate wants the position. The way you conduct your interviews will determine how they perceive the company. If an applicant senses that you aren't prepared or are made uncomfortable by your ill-equipped questions, they may choose to withdraw from the hiring process. Two of the most effective interview techniques are behavioral and situational questions. Behavioral interviews aim to elicit information about previous work experience. Tell me about a training method for a new sales representative that you find most effective. Situational interviews ask candidates to respond to a situation they may face on the job. Pretend I am a sales representative who has missed their quota 3 months in a row. How would you manage this? Consistency is key. Ask the exact same questions of each interviewee and be aware of prompting. This is a technique that helps nudge the applicant in the right direction when candidates aren't providing the required response. But follow-up questions should be broad and open. It should not aid them. The initial question may be,
"What do you think it takes to be a good leader?"
Honesty, inspire others, accountability, creativity.
Communicating is important in leadership. Can you provide an example of how you've communicated effectively in your previous management role?
This is a leading prompting question that provides the applicant with an unfair advantage. A good interviewer who wants a more detailed response would ask, "Can you give me an example of that type of quality?"
To summarize, there are many different selection methods for you to choose from, and it's important to be aware of the bias and effects when conducting this process. In New Zealand, there are laws that protect interviewees from discrimination. Therefore, you need to ensure that your questions are strictly job-related. Your interviews need to be structured. You must have a specific format and ask the same job-related questions of all candidates. Understanding the principles and techniques presented in this video will help facilitate a fair and valid approach to interviewing so that you can conduct great interviews.